the show. Just cleaning my carry piece here. My SIG P238. Nice firearm.
Okay. This is fun. I didn't know that you carried a 380.
What?
I didn't know. That's fine. That's fine for you. I wouldn't be caught dead without at least a 9mm when I leave the house.
Oh.
What?
There's just a misunderstanding. Clearly,
Don't get cute.
That's funny you say that because that's my ankle piece. It's for my ankle holster. I don't leave the house with anything less than Glock 21-45. But
I think
that's just me.
I think we're getting wires crossed. I think we're missing each other because this is my backup. No, I don't leave the house with anything less than my military spec set at an AR-15, a femur holster.
Oh,
I don't, but fine for you.
I see. That's it might be fine for you. I mean, if target acquisition isn't a problem, but for me personally, I don't leave the house with anything less than fully loaded bazooka.
Okay.
Holsters are hard to come by.
I can imagine. Finger off the trigger, Hoss. It's aimed in my general direction.
My bad, but that's just me. That's just personal preference.
Greetings. Yes, I do wish that we were meeting under less unfortunate circumstances. Before we get to questions, for those asking the proper steps to be taken at this current moment, given how little information is known, we will advise you on the proper precautionary measures, which is most important thoughts and prayers to the families affected, and, of course, naturally, changing your Twitter avatar.
Yeah, what about the reports that ISIS has taken responsibility?
No, well, we can't comment on that, of course, because these topics are of a sensitive nature. We'd hate for people to go off with opinions half-cocked. However, we can advise you, given the current situation, the best measures to be taken still remains changing your Twitter avatar.
Yeah, the man you have detained, is it true he has ties to Islamic terrorism?
No, let's not use that word or inflammatory language. And I will say, regardless of the motive, that does not change the precautions needed to be taken by the average citizen in changing your Twitter avatar. Most important, yes.
Yeah, what if I lack my avatar, though?
If you like your, that's a valid question, particularly for those with a verified checkmark who've gone to great lengths and spared no expense for their headshots and their avatar. If you like your current Twitter avatar, you can keep your avatar. You can simply add an avatar through the application known as Photoshop, overlaid over your current avatar, simultaneously layered. Drop the opacity. No more further questions, thank you.
Holy smokes, bullshit man! It's the bullshit phone!
I know! I installed it. Hello, Commissioner Bullshit. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Understood, sir. Looks like the Second Amendment is under attack again, and the bullshit artists and their bullshit minions in the mainstream media are on full cylinders.
Holy fecal matter, bullshit man!
To the bullshit mobile!
Bullshit, man. Doesn't seem like there's a lot going on here.
That's the tricky thing about anti-Second Amendment bullshit, boy, is that it can rear its ugly bullshit head at any
I
time.
spoke too soon! It's coming our way!
See, bullshit boy, it's the off-sided bullshit statistic that more firearm ownership leads to greater violent crime, despite the fact that FBI statistics show that the murder rate as of 2013 has decreased from 5.6 to 4.4 for 100,000. Bullshit!
Oh, good shot, bullshit man! Oh no! It's the bullshit statistic that most shootings are committed with fully semi-automatic rifles, despite the fact that the FBI shows most are committed with run-of-the-mill handguns!
Get that bullshit out of here! Ah! Nice bullshit kick, Robin.
Oh no! It's the false statistic that gun-free zones keep us safe!
Despite the fact that that bullshit was debunked in 2009, ever since then 92% of mass shootings have been committed in gun-free zones. Bullshit! Bullshit boy!
Oh no, bullshit man! It's got me! It's too strong! The gun show loophole!
There is no gun show loophole, bullshit boy! There's not a single law in the federal books exempting gun shows or online transactions from any other firearm transaction! Not a single one! Oh no! The bullshit statistic that the United States has the most violent crime rate in the world! Bullshit!
Oh, the bullshit bullshit that violent video games lead to mass shootings! Kapow!
The bullshit that Barack Obama said it's just as easy to buy a firearm as it is a toothbrush is bullshit!
But the bullshit the Second Amendment was only for muskets! Kapow!
Well, good bullshit work, bullshit boy. But the bullshit will come back. As sure as Bill O'Reilly will grow up as interns, the anti-Second Amendment bullshit always comes back. We make down one pile of bullshit right now. There's always one other big pile of bullshit looking to take his place from just around the corner. Quick, back to the bullshit cave! Commissioner Bullshit, we can say with complete confidence that this bullshit is officially solved. Yes. Meryl Streep said what at the Golden Globes? Better send bullshit go for reinforcements. Yes, sir.
Oh no! Not Meryl Streep again!
To the bullshit copter!
For the continued adventures of Bullshit Man, tune in next time. Same bullshit time, same bullshit channel.
Time to listen up, you silly liberal fruitcakes. I came out here, I wanted to tell some jokes. Let's do some reality checks here. Do you have any idea, sir, how pathetic it must be to be you? These people wanted to come out and have a good time, hear a few jokes, some thoughtful discussion, but your head pops off the pillow in the morning with, oh, how can I be a professional victim today? Let me go in and screw with their act just because, oh my God, your parents didn't tell you that your opinion wasn't worth that much. Look, they're confused. They're confused. You know why? Because I'm not your gender studies professor who has to cater to your trigger warning, microaggression, safe space bullshit. I didn't want to do this. I wanted to come out and tell a few jokes. You created this monster. We have to go. 10 more minutes of this. Let this reverberate. Let it be a life lesson.
Also, quick note, even though I know that I can physically portray Jesus as much as I want without any fear of violent repercussions whatsoever.
Hey Jesus, how you doing? You want me to pour you some wine?
I am aware that in the Muslim faith, not believing in free speech does not allow for the same portrayals of Muhammad, which is why in these dramatizations I've gone to great lengths to avoid doing so.
I am not Muhammad.
Okay, firstly, before we get to their actual teaching, let's start with their personal lives. Though Jesus was never married, Muhammad's seemingly favorite wife was Aisha, who according to was around 6. Though to be fair, he only consummated when she was 9.
I have puppies in back.
And in the spirit of full disclosure, Muhammad had many wives.
Not Muhammad. Who do you see? Shut up! You don't know the boss of me.
As a matter of fact, he had so many wives, here's a chart. So while Jesus was actually raising young adolescent girls from the dead, it seems that Muhammad was a little more concerned with moving on. Jesus was actually pretty big on the whole treating women with respect and protecting them deal.
Hey, whoa! You're crossing some serious lines. Okay, you got a lot of growing up to do. All of you. I'll tell you that right now.
But she's a floozy.
Oh, like you're so perfect, Carl. I can make one phone call.
Whereas Muhammad was not only involved in the commanding of killing certain women, committed domestic violence against his wife Aisha, said that women constituted a majority of hell, but there was actually a dame who was stoned to death as per his individual orders. Now, regardless of his servitude, Jesus never demanded anything in return from these women.
All right, come on, let me
No,
pay for it.
I got it. Go and say no more.
Whereas Muhammad had quite a few slaves and concubines.
Please, not Muhammad. Tell me how I can please you.
You can make me a sandwich. Like yesterday?
Many of these, shall we call them, female properties he'd gained in battle after having slaughtered their fathers.
Are you still here?
Which leads us to a key difference. Jesus, a servant, never fought a battle, never owned a slave, and never killed a guy. Not only did Muhammad do so, but he actually felt that it was his divine calling to kill non-Muslims and had murdered people who insulted him.
You're a bully! And you're dead!
Which finally brings us to the teachings of Jesus versus Muhammad. And there are too many to list here, so let's go to the tail of the tape. Jesus taught to love your enemies and teach your faith with gentleness and respect. Muhammad taught his followers to kill, convert, or subjugate Christians and Jews. Jesus said that God will judge apostates. Muhammad instructed his followers to kill them. Jesus taught mercy. The Quran teaches us punishment over compassion. But if you're noticing a disturbing trend here, congratulations, you're a logical person.
Heard the argument countless times from gun control advocates.
I think the Second Amendment is in the Constitution so that we can have muskets when the British people come over in 1800.
We used to have those guns when we were, you know, back in the day when you needed to go hunt and everything like that. You don't need those guns nowadays.
Again, the argument here is that the Second Amendment exists so Americans can overthrow the government. That is a view. It is a radical view.
Well, this is what they had in mind when they wrote the Second Amendment, a single-shot firearm that takes a bit of work to reload.
The problem is that they're dead wrong.
It's wrong. It's wrong!
We'll get to all of the pre-Constitution assault weapons that already existed in a second, but firstly, to accept this premise, you would have to believe that the Founding Fathers were so stupid they had never, ever, ever witnessed nor anticipated any kind of technological advancement in weaponry whatsoever.
The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
What if guns get, like, way bigger than today?
Well, I hadn't thought about that.
Believe it or not, weapons have evolved since the beginning of mankind. Rocks became sharper rocks became clubs, clubs became swords, swords became guns, etc., etc. Also, quick irony alert, many of the filthy hipsters trying to take away your Second Amendment rights are doing so by exercising their First Amendment right, written long before their iPhones.
Send.
But finally, the good stuff, the guns. Turns out by the time the Second Amendment was written, many assault weapons already existed. Take the Belton flintlocks, for instance, which was created during the Revolutionary War and can fire 20 or so rounds in the pull of one trigger in about 5 seconds. Or the Girondoni air rifle, where a 22 high-capacity round magazine could be fired in about 30 seconds. Again, this was created during the Revolutionary War and was actually later used by Thomas Jefferson to famously outfit the Lewis and Clark expedition. No, Lewis and Clark.
Now, Shannon, there's your musket cleaned. Now you clean mine.
Or even the Puckle gun, an early Gatling gun that was developed over 60 years before the Revolutionary War. Heck, even the pepper box revolvers could hold over 20 rounds and were developed hundreds of years before the Constitution. By the way, not only were the Founding Fathers aware of these guns, they were fans, for crying out loud. And the Second Amendment didn't just apply to guns, but full-on artillery. Here's a letter of marque and reprisal signed by President Madison for a privately owned ship carrying cannons that was authorized to attack enemy shipping. These were not muskets, and the Founding Fathers didn't give no craps. They were the action heroes of their day.
Go ahead. Make my day.
You're a disease, and I'm the cure.
Hasta la vista, baby.
It's time to party. Tea party.
The most important takeaway here is, contrary to popular opinion, even though the Second Amendment was written to literally include all weapons, the more you dive into it and understand its historical context, the more you see that the Founding Fathers expressly wrote it to include technologically advanced, effective weaponry. So anytime a silly leftist tries to feed you the argument of how the Second Amendment was for muskets, send them this video, because it's done. It's over now. End of debate. Stop trying to misinform America, you filthy hippies. Well, you know, it's always a good start. Let's start with Mrs. BJ herself, Madonna. Ciccone is her real name.
Yes, I am outraged.
What else is new?
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Seems she's obsessed with blowing in general.
Yeah. Hey, did you see the photographer in that shot? She was shocked.
The photographer was like, "Oh damn! I wouldn't even say that. White women are crazy." So people saying, "Did you just do a black voice?" Mm-hmm. Oh, are you waiting for an apology?
Yeah.
So Madonna,
Nobody expects one.
Nobody
from you.
expects one. Madonna was off. It was awful. Now, I understand the context of that, but if a conservative obviously had said that this is the obvious low-hanging fruit, of course they'd be at least audited, if not hauled out in cuffs, or blamed for the latest Benghazi attack. Ashley Judd, not to be outdone by Madonna. We have a few clips from her. Let's start with clip 1.
And I didn't know devils could be resurrected, but I feel Hitler in these streets. A mustache traded for a toupee. Nazis renamed the cabinet. Electroconversion therapy, the new gas chambers shaming the gay out of America.
What?
What the what?
Electroconversion therapy is the
Got
new.
the timeline mixed up on that.
That's like Shutter Island, what they used to do when they didn't know what mental illness was back in the 40s. Let's just electrocute him. No, he's still retarded. Throw him in prison. It doesn't. I don't think she's at the cusp of medical innovation. This new fangled penicillin. I mean, I don't think she knows electroconversion therapy is not a thing. But it gets worse.
Why were the female actors paid less than half of what the male actors
Do you mean you?
earned
I can
last
guess.
year? See, even when we do go into higher paying jobs, our wages are still cut with blades sharpened by testosterone.
I don't think you know what testosterone is or how it works. It's a hormone. It's not a sharpening stone. I don't know. As I drink from the mug that was created by estrogen. I mean, it's not a good analogy.
The author's taking some creative license with it.
Yeah, that's right. Well, this came from a 19-year-old black girl who worked at Dunkin' Donuts.
The metaphor is not on point.
Not to be outdone by Ashley Judd. See what's happening? This is called escalation.
Escalation. Yeah.
This crazy broad lit another one on fire. And I love how it took the patriarchy to put it out.
Yeah.
He was like putting it out, and you know one of the feminists was just aching to be, he's abusing a woman! No, he's putting out a fire from one of your crazy trolls lighting her on fire.
It's horrible. Well, I don't think I'm gonna beat that one because I did inhale a little bit. So why are we doing it again? Well,
because you made fun of my mom.
Now it's we're stopping. It's not the water. That's. I think you said.
Wait. Serious question. Serious question.
Yeah.
Because when I do these things, I want to do it right.
Yeah.
Was Yoel Romero not available?
Oh my God.
Could we not get Yoel Romero?
I just want a bucket of water now. This is just
Okay, careful with the equipment. I get it that Yoel was not available.
That's longer than almost anybody I've ever seen.
Damn mug! It's so girthy and quality made, I couldn't expel it from my hand. The hand etching was too grippy.
Not all feminists are fat, unattractive, boy-cutted, androgynous amoebas. Oh my God.
I think it's a disgrace that information that was false and fake and never happened got released to the public. As far as BuzzFeed, which is a failing pile of garbage.
Even today, marriage is not about equality. It's about perpetuating male privilege. Being given away by your father may seem cute and romantic, but it stems from a time when women were seen literally as their father's and then their husband's property.
Okay, property? All right, like I said, we have to get substantive, but if women are property, you're a bad investment. One of the biggest plus-size models, I have this up in front of me. She's a large girl. This is not an example of a plus-size model. This is not an example of a woman with a natural body type, Tess Holliday. This is a morbidly obese woman. Okay, for people who are not who are listening terrestrially, look at the picture. I mean, her blood type is pudding.
The vast majority of white Americans voted for Barack Obama, and now the vast majority of Americans are voting for Donald Trump. So you can't say that these same people, because there's a huge amount of people, if you look at that crossover, that these people were voting for progress with Donald Trump, with Barack Obama, and now all of a sudden they're racist because they pulled the lever for Trump, because you screwed them. You screwed them with the taxes on small businesses. You screwed them with a healthcare mandate that they couldn't afford, then punished them to force them to buy healthcare insurance when they didn't want to, and then raise those premiums 25%. And the people who did vote for Obama, who were even more privileged, who didn't have to get put into the Obamacare program, so their premiums go up by 40-something%. You screwed the progressive Christians and Catholics who voted for Barack Obama, who you then mandated to pay for somebody else's abortion. You screwed them by putting Lena Dunham's sorry face or ass, I don't know which, when she's on the air, and made her a wing of your party.
Really?
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen. And it was gotten by opponents of ours, as you know, because you reported it, and so did many of the other people. It was a
They used to be called
group of
reporters,
opponents that got
Donald.
together, sick people, and they put that crap together. So.
What? Well, with the trigger. Shame on a nigga who tried to run game on a nigga who busts our ass up. Yo.
Mr. President-elect, can you give us a question? You're attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you give us a question?
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you state?
With the trigger. Shame on a nigga who tried to run game on a nigga who busts our ass.
Talking about body shaming? The male figure has been shamed out of existence into the sense that, you know, men aren't perfect either. You want to give flex? And we have a lot of issues of, you know, being out in public. Let's talk about male body shaming. Should I be ashamed? Because I feel no shame. Oh! Would you like to take a moment to talk about male body shaming? It's not just me. Off Summer's days, self-professed Democrats, hippies, the retreads that you guys want to be, at least they thought they were fighting the system. They thought they were trying to create transparency. They really thought they were for free speech. You people are openly and completely against it. You're not fighting for free speech. You're not fighting for rights. You're fighting for the right to be a pussy and not hear opinions that you don't like. Because I do appreciate taking the question. It'd be two phrases. Listen. My problem is not, of course, there are plenty of great Muslims out there. Not every Muslim is a terrorist. It's important for people to note that. Muhammad was. And I have a problem with that. If you look and read about Muhammad's life, he killed, he called for the deaths of Christians and Jews. I have a problem with that. And you know what? That's okay. Just like atheists have a problem with Christianity. Let me give you an example right here, okay? Right now. This girl right here just yelled out that we were all racist. What? You just said you're not a girl? Do I try to use Z, the gender neutral? What's up? Yeah, what's up? She just yelled out, you just yelled out that all of us were racist. And then you asked a question. And then you asked a question. And the question was? Why are there only white people on your panel? There you go. It sounded better when you were yelling it with a chorus of backdrops. Let me explain. Okay, can I answer your question? Can I answer your question? Do you want an answer? Would you like an answer? Here's what's in, no, you don't know the answer, sweetheart. Let me answer it for you. Listen, you have, right here on this panel, you have a gay British Trump supporter, okay? You have a lifelong registered Democrat, open feminist, who's not a third-wave feminist, and you have a French-Canadian Christian conservative. So you may ask, why is there only white people? Because the only diversity you don't care about is that of intellectual diversity.
Right.